Okay, so when you're practicing, make sure that this is on the ground, point it out to wherever you want to go, and try your best to stand parallel to it. You have a strong habit of getting closed with your feet and open with your shoulders, so just try to establish railroad tracks. And I know when I was learning the game, the only way that I did that consistently was to put a stick on the ground. So you have to try to make that a practice habit, even before you go out, even if you're just hitting balls before warming up before you go. Try to make a practice habit. But all in all, I would say that you hit the ball as well today as I've seen you. Period. Your swing tempo was great. Your transition was great. And you're coming down still a little steep, but definitely more from the inside. So you got to remember that steep and inside are not the same thing, right? So we got words like inside and outside, meaning the path of your swing, the direction of it, and steep and flatter, meaning the inclined plane of it. So whereas you're still getting a little steep, like your wife does in transition, I still want you to feel like you can get this club down to this level as early as you can. See, even though that's back inside the ball, the shaft is coming in much more vertically than where you started. Though the blue shaft is your impact, and the white and the red shaft is your address. So the sooner we can get a little bit like what we've been doing with Sharon Swing, with the idea being that if we can get you down flatter and inside, that's our goal. And for the most part, you're making some good progress with that. You're definitely making some progress with the direction. You're not over the top at all. Your club is coming down more vertical than I would like it. And that always leads to some kind of a bailout, So you have this bailout right here that you're seeing is a result of the club coming in too steep. When you go from red to blue, you've got to compensate and raise everything up. So your butt kind of comes off, your back and head go backing up because you're making room for the club, which if you stayed in your position would crash. But that said, you are definitely coming down more from the inside. We have to keep working on that. The same thing I've been talking to you about all along, that sidearm feeling of a delivery, right? Like the skipping the stone across the pond or a hitter hitting a fastball. Because you tend to play golf on another analogy, on the Ferris wheel side. And I'm trying to get you more merry-go-roundy all the way around. That way, the flatter you can come down, the more you can, what we call, stay in the shot, and you don't have to bail up and out of it. And we go back to our buddy here, who always shows us the best way to come down. So you see the club there. And then you see the club there. That's kind of how he comes down in the transition. So great players, 90% of them have the golf club through the elbow. From this vantage point, coming right through the elbow or the lower part of the bicep, for sure. And you're getting there. And last thing I told you that we had to get you back inside because you started coming back over top. But you can still see it's coming down through the shoulder. And then you're starting to make, and you have to make the adjustment for that. Whereas this guy's so close to the plane line that he just stays down, turns through, swings right through the ball. You don't have to go back up like that to hit it. So that is one of the reasons why you're doing that. And the other reason would be the early release that we you know, you have talked about wanting to get your hands in front of it. And that's something else that we're working on too. Okay, so but we can't, you know, we can't do the lag until we get the plane of the club right. And that's my goal for you. Okay, and I included you on Sharon's video too. I think this was, you know, the best impact that we've seen from her ever with this position right here. Remember, straighten her eyes out too, so that she's parallel to the line of flight and she doesn't cock her head off to the right, so that the eyes are out there. So good lesson all the way around. Pleasure working with both of you, and see you soon.